Helen, before we look forward, let's look back a little bit and talk about the 2 wins that we had this past weekend on the road in Oregon. Um, Give us a recap of our wins over Willamette and Linfield.
Yeah, I mean, the Linfield game was just they were great wins, so we're happy to get a road sweep to finish our season. But the Linfield game was really an odd game. There were like 47 fouls called, and it was that kind of game where you could call 47 fouls. It's not like, for the most part, you're going, what was that? I mean, there's a couple fouls, I think, on both sides where you're a little bit surprised. But, so there was not a whole lot of flow, and so teams made runs, and then, and it was a weird game. But to come out with a pretty significant win at the end of that, when they made a big run and push, was really nice. And then at Willamette, they came out hot at the beginning of the first half, I think senior night, and just their senior hit a couple threes that started off, and so we kind of came out on our heels a little bit, but then we came, and I feel like we controlled that game after the first 2 or 3 minutes. So it was good to kind of have control of the game and to be the ones that were dictating what was happening in that game throughout.
And still a lot ahead of us. Important game on Thursday, but let's talk about a real breakthrough season. 19 wins, a chance for 20 wins. How does that, as a coach, to get back to that? Because certainly we were there for quite a while, not too many years ago, but to have a breakthrough again like this.
Yeah, it's nice to have, to just have success on a regular basis, whereas I think the past few years we'd have like a big weekend and then we'd drop off, and then we'd have maybe a big game and then a bad game on the next night. And so to just have a team that really understood the mental side of it and being mentally tough and being mentally prepared and having a little bit more depth and being a little bit more athletic definitely helped. And so it's fun. It makes my job easier in the sense that you don't feel like you can't ever make a mistake, or you can't ever, when you kind of have the ability to, hey, they're going to bounce back, or they're mentally tough. And so it's been a fun year that way.
Now we go on the road for a Northwest Conference playoff game at Whitman, the rubber match. Each team has won once. Mm-hmm. Talk about what kind of game we expect down in Walla Walla.
Who knows? They'll be really physical. I mean, they're very, very talented. They're deep. They're in a lot of ways similar to us. And I think Sarah Andrig and Johns are both very good players, and they're obviously leading them. But then you're looking at a bunch of 8s and 6s, and just a bunch of kids that play really hard and fulfill the roles and get the job done. And but they have players that can have a big game, like Tiffany Travers last time, who hit 5 threes against us. And so you can't just key on their 2 kind of key players. You have to defend everybody, and they're very good defensively. They really take away team strengths. They really make you have to play one-on-one a lot and finish plays. They make it really hard to get assists, and that's probably, I think, their mainstay.